Hello, my name is Roddy Conradi, and this is my week 3 update on a Foveated vision system project. Last week I had a library up that wasn't exactly what I wanted. It wasn't quite interactive enough. I wanted a user to be able to do a lot more with it and actually get frames instead of just looking at a video capture. So that's what I did this week. I kind of overhauled my project and I added a few more functions here. So you can see here I have a lot of new functions: add device, remove device and get devices, vision, same thing, and task, same thing, and then frames as well. This is my main Foveated vision system class. They kind of funneled down into the Foveated device class because this class also needs a couple of those functions. And then the bulk of my project is in the vision class, as always. So in the vision class, I have a few functions that I added this week for add network, remove network. These allow me to add a neural network to my class, which you'll see why later. And then I also added, these are carryover functions: the get gray, get edge, get difference, get log, get linear. These are log and linear polar. These were here before, I know for sure. And these actually return frames now, so it's only due for one frame instead of just doing it always as a video capture. And I also added these two big functions down here, the get har and get cafe. The get har recognizes faces and eyes using a har classifier, and get cafe uses a cafe neural net or a model to recognize some sorts of objects given the model and a list of classes that the model finds. I also added a few utility functions for myself, one for FPS, which you'll see printed out at the end of the running the file, and then these are some just utility functions for my FPS file here. And then this is where I test my code as always, so why don't we run this real quick and see how it's working so far. So we'll comment out the har classifier. We'll just get the facial detector. And this is using the cafe model, so I can call them like that. So let's go ahead and run this and see if it's working properly. Awesome. So you can see it detects my face over here. And these are all 164 by 164 pixel images. This is my peripheral view. So remember, widest field of view, lowest resolution. And over here is my foveal or foveated vision. Foveated view. Yeah. And this is my lowest field of view but highest resolution. So if I wanted to recognize exactly who this is, I probably want to use this over here, because like if I want to say this is Roddy versus Joe versus someone else, I would use my highest resolution here. If I just wanted to recognize like a face or a person or an object, I would definitely use my peripheral view, because that's low resolution. You don't need high resolution for things like that. Another thing I added, you can probably maybe see it, is object tracking. So wherever I'm moving, and this is the peripheral view actually. So wherever I'm moving, you can see that's tracking my face right now. This is just set for face right now. So when I run my facial detection, it's also going to track me. Otherwise, it's just going to sit in the center. So you can see my visions are moving around to follow that. And I do that using a focal point, which I normally have set for 0, 0, but when I'm tracking something, it moves. So this is one model we use. We can also call another model, and we'll just leave this at 0, 0. So it won't move this time, but we'll see it recognizing objects. So why don't we go ahead and call the normal object detector. We'll close this. Oh, and once we close this, you'll see the FPS as well. Uh-oh. That doesn't normally happen. Looks like it just froze. Might be. I don't know why that happened. Alright, we'll cancel that. Alright, let's see if... Let's rerun that. So now we have our objects here. So you can see it says person. It might say sofa if it sees my bed. Let's see if it does. Yep, I think that's a sofa. As you can see, it's not tracking anything. I don't have it set to track a person right now. I'm trying to figure out how I wanted to change the tension. So it's just stuck at 0, 0 right now. That's why the foveated view isn't changing. And then let's take a look at the hard classifier. And you can see here, this is my FPS, so about 30, which is my actual camera, how fast it takes in frames anyway, so not much of a change, just using one of those. Although if you do use multiple caffeine models, it tends to slow down quite a bit. So as you can see, this is my hard classifier, which recognizes eyes and face. Although it's not doing a great job at eyes, I think it's too low resolution. It's also just not as good as the network or the neural network model, but it's a lot more lightweight. So why don't we go ahead and add on the object detection and see how it lowers our frames. So actually, I'm surprised my frames are so low for that hard one. Usually it'll be the other way around. So I also got a call. As you can see, my frames are dropping quite a bit. If I go ahead and add the facial detection as well, that's also going to lower it. It should actually track my face as well. But yeah, our frames are dropping pretty significantly there. We're down to 10 right now. Hopefully you're going to figure out a way to boost that up a bit. We'll comment these out for now. Actually, let's keep the face one. And let's also see kind of why I rehold my library. It allows me to do some things that I want to kind of illustrate now. So actually, I'm already doing it. See here how I'm using the gray image, which I actually get from the gray image function here, and I'm turning that gray image into a log polar image. So if we look here, this was, oh, I'm not actually printing it out yet. Let's print that out. So my FES show frame 0, and then we'll say log gray, which is my log polar gray image, and that was, oops, this is supposed to be main foveal, and this is log gray. Perfect, let's run that. So you can see here that this gray image is actually the log polar image of this gray one right here. Oops, right here. So this is just a log polar version of that. So my new library allows me to kind of call multiple functions within each other, which is really cool and will be really helpful later. It makes it a lot more interactive. All right, thank you for watching, and hopefully next week I need to figure out attention stuff. So how am I gonna change my attention, which is really hard. So I'm gonna have to read a couple papers on that and figure out what I should do. And yeah, I think that's the main thing I want to do for next week. So thank you for watching.